Good day. It's been a while. This is Pastor X, and I trust you guys are well, and everything is going well in your life, and you're flourishing. I'm very excited. Tomorrow we will be starting with our first camp for our couples adventure camp, the annual camp. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm not sure if I've got the strength for it, but I'm believing God that, you know what, I'm going to have strength for this thing because it's tomorrow, Thursday until Sunday, next week, Thursday until Sunday, that other week, Thursday until Sunday, and the last week of September, Thursday until Sunday. So all my Thursdays to Sunday, I write off. Anyway, I've been thinking and in some instances talking about something that I never thought about before. But when it came through my mind, I just got, wondering. I recently, acquired a property, got a place, and immediately after I signed for the bond, I got so many calls, people offering me insurance for the house and insurance for this, insurance for that. And out of that, I started wondering, with everything else that we have insured, do we have our hearts insured? Especially if you're in a relationship, it becomes a big question now, because you have to trust somebody else with your heart. And I've never heard of an insurance for the heart. But those who've been in relationships, they know that it's one part that breaks a lot. Most people will come and say, I'm so heartbroken and so forth. So it got me wondering, and I asked myself a few questions. And one of the questions was around the fact that most of us, we have our lives insured. So we've got life covers and we cover ourselves for death. We also cover ourselves for health. That is why there are medical aids. And also we cover our cars, things that are valuable. We cover our houses. Now we even cover cell phones. So I think it's just fitting to wonder if we have our hearts covered. And if you're in a relationship, imagine if there was a heart cover where if your partner breaks your heart or they leave you, and you can be able to claim from an insurance and you'll be able to get something as a compensation for a broken heart. I'm not sure how they would, and I'm sure the insurance for that will be very expensive, because these days people are just reckless with other people's hearts, and we just do whatever we feel we're pleased to do. So I tried now to search the scriptures. I thought, if we have all these things insured, we insured cars, we insure houses, home contents, cell phones, everything. People even insure their voices. People like me, musicians and speakers like me who make a living through talking, they insure their voices so that if they can't speak for whatever reason, my voice dies today, it means that I can't work. I'll have to find other ways of communicating to be able to achieve what I do for a living. So now, if we were to look at a heart, now the big question would be, who controls the heart? Obvious, the person who controls the heart is God himself, meaning that any insurance that has to go with the heart, with your feelings, it has to be from God. And he's the only one that can be able to secure and provide some kind of security towards your heart. Now, while I was thinking about this, there's no book, no record of something like this, unless I didn't search enough. But I went to the scriptures, and I found a couple of scriptures that are actually securing our hearts, meaning that you could have your heart insured. Yes, insurance for your heart. And the only person who can insure it is God himself. Now, if you look at the book of Psalms chapter 37, it talks about, that we need to serve God, we need to honor God, we need to love God, and we need to commit ourselves to him. And then it's got a promise that comes with it underneath. And then it says, he shall give you your heart's desires. Meaning that everything that you wish for, that you desire, if we seek him, just like it says in Matthew chapter 6, verse 33, where it says we shouldn't worry about anything, but we need to seek God and his kingdom righteousness, and everything else that we want shall be added on, shall be given to us. For me, I don't know about you, that sounds like some kind of an insurance for your heart. Because when you enter into a relationship, or you marry somebody that you have ticked off a few ticks, in terms of the criteria that you are looking for, in terms of what you like from this person, but it doesn't mean that this person is 100% what you want. So in an event where this doesn't turn out to be what you wished or intended it to be, the question is, what do you do then from that point? So the only person who knows the thoughts and the deepest secrets of every human being is God. So for me, it made sense for us to insure our hearts with him. And he will be able to give us some wisdom, even with the people that we relate with. That now, having said, it becomes easier for us when we find ourselves and experience heartbreaks to go back. Because if I'm insured with Auto and General, you see, I'm giving them free marketing. If anything happens to my car, I go to them and I trust that they will replace it or they will fix it, whatever the case may be. So I'm saying, should my heart be broken, I will insure it with God. And in an event where it's broken, I will lodge a claim with him and he will be able to mend it. He'll be able to take all the broken pieces, put them together and make it whole again. Because on my own, I can't. I never created it. And I don't control the emotions that are going through it. So it makes sense to insure it. Now, two scriptures that I came across to support my argument. Now, you might ask, how do I insure my heart with God? It's simple. It's through you having a relationship with his son, Jesus Christ. And you have that relationship by accepting his son as your Lord and Savior in your life. Let him control your life. Let him take full charge of your life. Let him order your steps. Let him direct you on a path to take. He will also direct you on how to deal with your partner, because he knows your partner better than you will ever know your partner. Because the beautiful thing about him is that he even knows what your partner will think next week. So can't it make sense then for me to insure my heart with somebody like that? Now, there are a couple of scriptures that I want to read for you, and then I'll leave you. The first one is in Proverbs chapter 4, verse 23. It says, I'm reading it from Amplified Version. It says, watch over your heart with all diligence. Watch over your heart. Meaning that when you insure your heart, all you need to do is to make sure that your heart is in good standing with God. So when it says watch over your heart, it's as simple as saying make sure that the premiums are paid every month. And for as long as the premiums are paid, you are insured. For as long as you guard your heart and it's in good standing with God, and then your heart is insured. And then it says, why must you guard your heart? It says, for from it, NIV version says, guard your heart with all diligence, meaning you make an intentional effort to guard your heart. Because it says, from it flows the springs of life. Everything of life flows from it, meaning that God will put all your heart's desires so that when you communicate with Him, you communicate what would work for you to your benefit. All right? So it's something that is necessary now for you to do. That's the first scripture. The second one is in the book of Philippians. I think it's chapter 4. Yes, it's chapter 4. And sorry, the verse there, it says, talks about God's peace. It says it's the peace that surpasses all understanding. All right? It surpasses all understanding. And this is the peace that will help you to guard. This same peace will guard your heart. Right? Now, for us to find ourselves fighting with our spouses, finding ourselves heartbroken, finding ourselves anxious, worried, scared, it's because we don't have peace inside us. And the Bible now, it says, the peace, God's peace, that surpasses all understanding. There are things that won't make sense about your partner, things that won't make sense about you. But now the Bible, it says, that peace surpasses all understanding. Okay? Now, if it surpasses all understanding, it means that it's the peace that your heart.